The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us for the Thursday Trading Studio session. Before we get going, let me know in the questions panel if we can be seen and heard. Thanks. Thanks, Mike, Todd, Randy, Bill, and friends. So before we get started in the afternoons, so the regulars know the drill. We ask a couple questions. Do you currently have an active subscription with Trade Ideas, yes or no? And while you're voting, I'll remind everyone that the audience is muted. Use the questions panel to interact with us. Feel free to ask a question at any time, but if you want to see something demonstrated by the presenters, wait until they're taking questions from the audience. That way they will be sure to address it. Let me share that out. So it looks like over 70% currently have subscriptions. If you decide you want to start up a new subscription today, keep in mind we do give out a discount code. That's good until next week, so stay tuned for that. Here's a follow-up for the subscribers in the room. Are you using premium or standard Trade Ideas? If you're not familiar with the difference, premium is the version that gives you access to the goodies like the AIs, the AI channels, the backtesting module, the ability to auto trade with AI strategies if you have a participating broker. Currently, that's just interactive brokerage, but very soon it will also be TDA, Thinkorswim, and E-Trade. So keep your eyes peeled for that announcement. And also the other things you can do with Premium are open up to 20 charting windows concurrently, access the RBI, GBI advanced windows, that kind of fun stuff. All right, let me share that out. So we have over 50% in the room today that have Premium that are also subscribers. The rest of you, if you decide you want to do that upgrade from standard to Premium and get all those other goodies, grab that code and use it to do the upgrade. We're going to record this session, have it up later on tonight or tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And we'll send you an email from GoToWebinar tomorrow with a link to the playlist on our YouTube channel where you can find it. So I'm going to go ahead and let Andy and Jamie take the helm. Hey, guys. How's Thursday shaping up?
Hey, Scott. Doing pretty good, man. Hey, Jamie. How are you?
Andy, what is shaking? Except for the markets.
yeah. We'll talk about that. We'll see what's going to happen, but I'm a little bit nervous for the bulls. But we'll talk about that when I get into the market recap there. But thanks everybody. Looks like we got a good crowd still filing in here. Watching the attendees just tick up like every second. Somebody coming in here. So thank you for taking time out of your day and joining us. My name is Andy. That's Jamie. This is the Trading Studio. And let's dive in after we go over the disclaimer here. Okay, this is Trade Ideas, and we are a content publisher. Okay, nothing should be construed as investment advice, even though we're going to be talking about some possible setups and charts, looking at charts and things, all that fun stuff. But if you are seeking for investment advice, you want to look for somebody who's licensed. That would be a stockbroker, a registered advisor. Okay, just want to make that clear before we move on. And this is going to be the agenda for today. Market recap. We'll do that first. And I think I have some interesting things to talk about that. Let me be pulling up my little Epic pen real quick while I'm going over this agenda. And then we got the Holly recap. Holly started out pretty strong today. I remember tweeting an image, and it was doing very well. Of course, it finished the best in conservative mode, but that's because of the pullback we had, in the last half of the day in the market. And so, but still, a decent day there for Holly and Jamie. We'll talk about that more. And then, guys, I'm going to address this issue with stock twits filter gone. I'm sure if some of you, if you do or have been using that, you've something that you probably noticed. I know we fielded a lot of emails and complaints, and I will discuss that and how you can improvise. All right, and then this is an alert I built. It's actually I have a top list and an alert for this. Getting tired with a question mark. Had somebody today come in chat, looking for stocks that are overextended, but maybe about to crater. So this is something that you would have came into today looking at. You could have done very well if you would have been able to short some of these stocks. Obviously, that's the key question. But Jamie, we had a big winner in the price alerts. I don't know if you got a chance to look at them, but I'll discuss that. I don't know if he's in here or not. I bet he is. He's usually in here, but if not, I sure hope he is. I'd sure like to give him the accolades, but I'm going to give him the accolades anyway, but it'd be nice if he was here to see this incredible call that he had. So
very cool.
Right. Yeah. We'll talk about that, and we'll, if we have time, we'll play that same game again. All right, let me back out of this and oh, no, I can't do that. We got to talk about the 5-star support education and training that we have here at Trade Ideas. Especially for those in here who are kicking the tires, may not, or maybe in here for the first time, trying to figure out what's all they're hearing about this Trade Ideas product. I just want you to know it's a very powerful software. For some, when they first open it up, it may catch them off guard because it can do a lot. But you're going to find if you spend a couple of days with it that, hey, it's very intuitive and it's not that hard to use, especially just to get started. We give you a lot of pre-configured windows that you can just hit on it, click on a channel, and you're instantaneously getting great alerts and scans. But if you do want to build your own stuff, it's, you can learn very quickly, and we're here to help you do that. Okay. You can see we have these, we're on the left side there. Oh, we got the trade of the week in there now. Great. I think Scott probably did that. Appreciate that, Scott. We have all the webinars in Monday through Friday in the same 5 Eastern time slot. Okay. You can see in there that it's going to be a lot of Jamie's and Steve's and Andy's. It's because we kind of pair up in twos and handle about 3 of these. But on Wednesday, we do give you our CEO, Dan Merkin, and our CTO, Brad Williams. Great place to come for a Q&A. And they're always good about showing you little bells and whistles that are coming around the corner. And the support webinar, guys, this is where you want to come. And we've been seeing more and more people in there. And it's every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. And I'll just pull up the next slide so we can take a look at it in depth here. And it's, once again, weekdays, 12 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. And all you got to do is go to trade-ideas.com/live. It's a live stream where you get to a questions panel. You can ask questions, and we can help you with anything that you might be struggling with or have a question about the software. So be sure if you can make it, come in there. Let me cut off my British guy over here. I got to forget to cut off my brokerage platform. Hold on just one second. Make sure I don't cut off.
That's funny, Andy. I heard that in stereo on your end and my end.
All right. So let me back out of here, and we'll save that slide for Scott when he closes us out. And let's pull up the spies and talk a little bit about the market. And well, first of all, for a few days, when you see stuff really acting wacky, I mean, usually when stocks or say when markets get to extremes, you'll get some very weird action. And I can't put my finger on it. It just seems like a lot of stuff is kind of out of whack and trading on its own. It's almost like a triple witching. It's weird. And I'm not calling a top here, but I'm saying, like, I'm seeing that same kind of stuff where not a lot of stuff is making sense. This is also can be found on market bottoms as well. You get this capitulation, like Steve was saying on Tuesday. You can not only have capitulation to the downside, you can have capitulation to the upside. And when you see these euphoric moves like we've been seeing in AMC, in GameStop, and I'm sure you guys can name a lot more than I can, but I don't know. It can be a sign of a top, just like it could be a sign of a bottom, capitulation selling. So, be careful, because there's a lot, not only that, on a macro level, we just had a big, presidential change, which means there's going to be policy changes and like I said, and I'm a technician first, but when I see these things, I definitely start, getting my, the warning signs are flashing. So let me just, kind of show what I'm looking at here. Okay, so we're above the 50-period moving average. That's the only one we're kind of the short term was, of course, the 200's way down here. So, and we have come a very long way from our March low. That's, from, excuse me, zoom in. Basically 219 every area all the way to 386. What is that? It's a lot. I'm not even going to try to figure a percentage, but it's a lot. And when you start getting this kind of action like we saw yesterday, big red bar, it could, like I say, be flashing some warning signs at you. And probably more concerning for me today was this big wick to the upside popping through our 20 period and our 10 period, and then closing down below this 20 period line. Now, no harm was done. We actually finished up on the day. So if you just want to look at it in that aspect and you just say, hey, it was an up day, Andy, but when I see the kind of action after a day like this, where we looked like we totally reversed, took out yesterday's high and everything, and then excuse me, let me get back on my arrow. And then we had this kind of close going, and basically for the last 2.5 hours, no buyers, just basically sellers, and falling down below these 2 moving averages. I'm a little bit concerned here. As a matter of fact, I'm net short. Really, the only thing I'm in is SDSs right now. I'm just not seeing a whole lot of risk reward favorable to the long side. So it got earnings season. Maybe let this get through. But Jamie, I don't know if there's anything you want. Let's take a look at the Qs first, real quick. And kind of the same thing. They are above their 20 period, but once again, closed and closed just right at, or maybe a little bit below the 10 period there. But still, anytime I see those topping wicks, and you can see the Qs pretty much close near lows after having a nice morning. And you can see now in after hours, I'm seeing now they're trading down. I'm not sure if anything's going on, if somebody had earnings or something like that, but you can see the Qs are trading down. And let's see if the spiders are doing. Yeah, they're trading down a little bit as well. So we'll see what happens. But anytime we've had a move like this, and I'm seeing the action that I'm seeing, the euphoric, plays in the market, it just tells me, maybe it's time for this market to get slapped.
And Andy, you do have the precious metals kind of doing the opposite as well. Gold and silver had significant gaps. Yeah.
And silver actually had a much bigger gap, and look at that. And that's trading up. And there's another. Like I said, these crazy action. Look where silver is and how it closed today, and look at gold. I mean, great point, Jamie. And gold pretty much closed on lows and below all its moving average. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. When you see things out of sorts like that, and disjoining, there's a better word. I can't just roll on the tip of my tongue. I always have trouble finding this word, but anyway, decoupling. There you go. They're kind of decoupling there. Yeah. Gold and silver, they always go together. So this is the kind of stuff, like I say, it can depict, potential market tops or market bottoms. When you see this crazy action that you really can't make any sense of it, that's when I back away, maybe put on a little short, not a lot of risk, because here's the thing, you don't have to put on a whole lot of risk, because, if you pick a top with a little bit, I mean, you can always add to it if the fall does come. So you got to be careful when you're trying to do that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with doing a little fade every now and then if you don't feel like if the candlesticks are mirroring up. But anyway, I'm probably rambling on a little bit too much, Jamie. We got a lot to go over today. So anything you want to add to the overall market recap?
Somebody was asking if there was a ETF to track Bitcoins. Wasn't GBTC or something like that? Let's see.
GBTC does. It's a pretty good one. Of course, you're not going to get the crazy. I mean, you will get the moves, but it's going to be tamed moves, not like you see in Bitcoin, because it is a trust, an ETF trust. But if you would have bought this thing back over here at 15, you could have at one point tripled your money if you got out at the top.
Yeah, and it's an ETF, so it's not the same as buying it in the spot market. But
right.
That's about the only thing as far as an index type of instrument that you can watch through us to give you an idea about Bitcoin.
Yeah, and you can't. It's a trust, so I don't think you can short it. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe you can. But all right. Let's see what ticker symbols used to say. What's this other one? Or stop loss raids, a real thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't underestimate, what these brokers and especially these big ones that do a lot of high frequency trading. I think if I understand your stop loss raids, I'm not sure I ever heard of that expression, but they definitely brokers will sell out their stop loss, to these high frequency trading firms, and which is, to me, should be totally unlawful. But hey, it's Wall Street, make up their own rules, and the SEC tends to follow them. But yeah, they see your stop loss. I'm not saying every broker does, but the majority of them will. They'll sell out your stops, which just baffles my mind. But that's just the world we live in, I guess. But
well, the stop hunter algos have always been out there. It's common practice. It's just like Andy said, it's the rules, right? It's legal technically. But there's a magnifying glass being placed on all these firms now because of recent events with the whole, GME and AMC fiascos and all the other stocks. So it's definitely going to be interesting from a regulatory standpoint moving forward.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Jamie, you want to steal it and
let's talk about Holly.
Yeah,
let's talk about Holly. All right, everybody should have eyes on my desktop now. And let's just take a look at BB real quick here, because let's do the trade arounds first. Typically, I like to talk about trade around potentials that were there throughout the day with Holly's activity, and also how we might be able to extract some of the spread that we see here between conservative profit and moderate profit. Real quickly here before we begin, just for the new people in the room, if you're looking at the totals over here on the channel bar, you can see that 1.0 came in at 261, 2.0 just shy of $45, and NEO rounding it out here at almost $258 on a total of 18 trades between the three modules, 9 for 1.0, 2 for 2.0, and 7 for NEO. Now, these totals here are based on taking 100 shares per trade, but that's not the way my blotter is set up. And just to point that out, if I go to tools and options, go to my trade size for the AI, you can see I'm risking $100 per trade. I'm not making 100 share trades per transaction. And based on the stop loss that's unique to each and every call, it's going to size me accordingly so that if I do get stopped out, I only lose right about $100. And we can see those stop values down here. Now, when we talk about a trade around, BB is a pretty decent example, simply because we can see the trade was initiated at 10:11, only 16 minutes spent in the trade before it. Actually, this is not a stop hit, but it is a profit save. So that is not going to be an example. My eyes got confused looking at this little guy right here on the ASO. And ASO is not a bad one either, though. Okay. So here we have ASO, also not a whole lot of time spent in the trade. 8:36 initiated the trade. 20 minutes later, it was stopped out. And this was a short play. So if we take a peek here, and these are 15-minute candles that we're looking at, we get the short call right here, stopped out in the next 15-minute candle, and then look what it did right after that. Okay, so we just barely got through that stop level by about a dime on that wick up there. But how did the stock react when it got stopped out? How did it react to this stop level here? We can see it just wicked right through. Next candle opens up below the stop area. So this one was very interesting as it unfolded in real time, because if it would have really crushed through that stop area and kept on going and got nowhere back near it on the candle close, it's probably not one you want to pay attention to. But when you see action like this, the quick wicking through the stop area, makes me think of Abdul's comment there on the stop hunting algos. Maybe that was something going on there, maybe not, doesn't really matter. But when you see stop hunts in play, they typically look like this. They barely get you out, and then they turn and go the way that you hope they would. So when you see the AI getting stopped out, it's always a good idea to see how that stock reacts around that stop area. In a case like ASO, if you see it acting more as a resistance level, or maybe a little level of intraday supply, and we get that next candle open there, we could have reinitiated this short or went in for the first time if we weren't in it, on the initial play, got a better price than the AI, and all we have to hope for is a drawdown back to the actual entry signal here. Okay, so ASO, pretty good example of a trade around. Steve would say the second mouse got the cheese on this one. But it takes a little practice getting used to seeing these things, watching how they react around the stop areas, but not a bad one in ASO. All right, so now let's talk about some of the bigger winners today and how we could have potentially extracted some of this spread between conservative and moderate here. This is a good example here on SGRY. This little guy was on the move today, busting out to all-time highs, sugary surgery partners. Okay, now here we have the initial signal and that first 15-minute bar coming in about the about 11 minutes into the open here. Not a bad price, 33.41 here, and we just get that immediate gratification, which, hey, nothing wrong with that. Stock's just going straight up, and Holly gets a target hit. Nothing wrong with that. Target hit is always a good thing, but look what it did after that target was hit. Just kept on going. So if you're in this position manually and you see that target get hit, hey, it's never a bad idea to take half off the plate there. But based on what this thing was doing, just up and away, there was, wasn't too far of a stretch to go, man, this thing is just reaching on up. We're above the all-time high. This thing's got momentum. Let's do a little volume check real quick. Ooh, nice finish on the relative volume there of 19. And these smaller time frames were kicking pretty much all day. So when you see that, you see the thing going straight up. No pullbacks really, big volume, statistical probability by the AI. Then, makes a lot of sense to just go, you know what, I'm going to stay in this one a little bit longer because when I look to the left here, there's not really anything visible that it could bump its head into, and quite an impressive day before pulling back off the top there on SGRY. So all we had to do, whether we held the whole lot or maybe did 50-50, got out of 50 with the profit target, held the other 50% for a bigger move. Not the hugest spread there, but about another let's just call it $137 on top, which is a nice percentage on top of what we already had. Now, there was a little bit in 6, but as you can see here, $162 up to 203. Nothing spectacular there. A little bit more of a multiple here on plan. At least it's a doubler between, let's just call it $40 and $95 here. Pretty much the same action as sugary. We get the not a bad entry call right here on 65.38, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for about an hour and 45 minutes. This thing just keeps on going. Actually, I take that back. 2 hours. This thing just went up for 3 hours straight, basically, after that entry signal there. So we can see the shaded area right here is right about where Holly pulled the plug on plan for a profit save. Probably that little wick got her a little nervous there on that modified trailing stop, which is what the profit save is. But once again, just up and away. This one not at all-time highs, but certainly had some room, which it wicked right above that level and just settled right back in. But the bottom line is, once we see Holly exiting, we could have just stayed in, whether it be the whole position or half, and enjoyed a little bit more to the upside there. And the 50-50 methodology is really kind of the best thing to do, especially when you're new. Okay, I'll take half my position off in conservative mode. I'll let the other half ride for a little bit more risk in hopes of gaining more profit. And over time, as Andy was saying not too long ago, moderate profit typically outperforms conservative. It's just on some days, conservative does outperform moderate, and those are some of the more choppy days. But you never know which one's going to do the best. So if you're splitting the difference, doing half and half, it's a great way to learn and get familiar with those exits on Holly. Other than that, a nice amount of green on the page today. Just not a whole lot of spread between conservative and moderate, and only one decent example of a trade around. So, Andy, I see the questions popping in there. Do I need to backtrack on anything Holly related?
A lot of them just came. Let's see, in the last minute here. Now let's bring for those stocks. like SGRY. Yeah, send that to how to screen for stocks like SGRY. Send that to info@trade-ideas.com and maybe give us some parameters, something that you're kind of looking for. And then that's great that you give an example so we can kind of look at it and we'll get you started there. It's hard, in our live session here to kind of build something for you, but if you'll send that in, we'll help you get started for sure.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that sugary is it opened right here. It opened at like 32.25, right?
Yeah. Well, more than likely,
it opened right at the perfect spot for that breakout there, and that's really probably what the catalyst was for sugary, because it opened right above that little area of congestion, and boom, nothing for it to bump its head into there. So just a filter off the top of my head there is you're wanting to see things that are close to their lifetime range, but not too far above, right?
Yeah. It'd be easy to do. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's see here.
See if there's any more. You're talking about your S window?
Yeah, the flag right here. The new single stock window shows the country where the company is located.
Yep, you'll be getting that soon if you don't have it yet. I don't know if you do or not, but it may be in the new beta, but it'll be coming out soon, our new production version. Not sure when that's going to be released, but either later on this week or next week. But
yeah, let me answer Robert's question here, Andy, and I'll kick it back over to you.
No problem.
Talking about how the stop loss for aggressive is higher than 100 for AOS. Okay, and good observation. Okay, but the kicker here about aggressive, there is no stop loss on aggressive mode. There's a stop loss in conservative mode along with 4 other exit reasons. Moderate mode, we use a stop loss only. And if you don't get stopped out, it exits late in the day, about 5 minutes before the close. But aggressive is there just for you to see what happens if you put on a trade and you don't manage you don't put a stop loss in, you just hold it until the close. So not only is the stop loss more aggressive, it's non-existent in the aggressive mode. It just puts the trade on and sees what happens. Okay, so that's what aggressive is doing, is just monitoring the position with no risk management going into the close. So I hope that illuminates aggressive for you there, Robert. And Andy, if you're ready, I'll kick it over
back here. Let me get a drink of water and then. All right. All right, guys. So we had, let me just go to an alert window here. Give time for Chris to start the recording because we're going to record this for people. So they'll have an idea of what happened and what you can do about it. So if you come into our search and just start typing in stock twits, you're going to see we had these stock twits filters and one alert here ratio. Well, what has happened is, guys, is we've kind of ended our affiliation with stock twits, and I'm not going to go into the reasons why, but it did happen, and it happened kind of quick. Okay, so unfortunately, this filter just stopped working yesterday, and we really didn't have time to give everybody a heads up, and we apologize for that. We would definitely have liked to handle that better, but it just kind of the way it happened, and we are sorry. But I do want to kind of give you an idea what you can do instead of using, because I know some people use this, especially the stock twits relative activity. Okay, it shows you a percentage of tweets that are coming through stock twits, based on 100% average. So if it's coming through at 500 or 600%, you would know it's doing 5 times or 6 times greater the average amount. But I do want to show this because if you noticed, and Barry's the same way, and I think all the traders here are the same way, none of us use this filter. Okay, because there is a direct, and I researched this. I researched this while I was when we first got this filter, and I said to myself, I said, "Gosh, there's just such a direct correlation with relative volume and these tweets that are coming through stock twits." So, and I'm going to show you an example here. This is my Extreme Volume High-Low Pro, and you guys can do this on your own and do your own little research. Okay, because the history is still working. Okay, you can see stock twits. I went back on, let's see, time frame. So I am back on the 25th okay, to show you that it's still pulling data from history. All right. And if I scroll down here, you're going to see, or let me start at the bottom here. Okay. You're going to see kind of a direct correlation between the relative volume and the StockTwits relative activity percentage increase. And it's pretty straightforward. Look here, you can see relative volume here doing 5 times normal, and you can see StockTwits on this apron is about doing the same thing. And I looked through all this, and it's basically the same thing. You're going to see this high relative volume associated with these, and it just it's common sense. It makes sense that people are going to be talking about stocks that are doing big volume and going up and hitting new highs. So that's the relationship, and it's pretty much spot on. Okay, you can see here as the relative volume goes down, so are the tweets. And there'll be some obscure companies that you just won't see a whole lot of tweeting about, but nonetheless, this is what I would do. Okay, if you were using this StockTwits relative activity percentage filter, and maybe you had a 500% minimum in there, you might just want to go and replace it with a relative volume of maybe 4 or 5, whatever you want to do. And it's a really good workaround for what you were accustomed to using. And like I said, once I kind of did my research on it, I said to myself, well, I've always been a volume guy, and I'm seeing no benefit, to this. And I'm not, trust me, yeah, if you liked it, I apologize, and I wish we still had it, but we don't. And I think this is a really good workaround for you to use instead of the StockTwits relative activity, because very seldom you're going to see a really high percentage in the volume not doing hardly anything. It may happen. If it does, it's probably just rare anomalies, but you're going to see, once again, a direct correlation. So that's about it, guys. And like I said, you can still look at history, so you can go back and kind of do your own research. And I think you're going to find out that the relative volume works great, just like the StockTwits. So sorry about that. I'm not going to spend any more time on it, but I did want to share that with you, and apologize for maybe not handling it as well as we could have, but it was a quick kind of on the spot move. All right. Let's move on to the next topic, and I believe I'm going to talk about this getting tired alert that I shared with probably about a year ago. And when you see like this craziness like we've seen in the last several days in the GameStops, the AMCs, the Bed Bath & Beyonds, I can go on, and you, like I said, most of you could probably even give me a lot more. It's like bouncing a super ball, on the ground, right? It's going to go up and eventually it's going to come down, and if you don't mind short selling, it's great to be, ready for something like this. Okay. Be prepared. And, so this is something I built, getting tired. Okay. This is alert. I also have it in a top list, but I think for quick action, this probably works better. And let's just take a look at the filters real quick. Okay, it's just simple. A new low is the only alert that I'm using. And here's a little trick, guys. If you get full in here, all you got to do is hit this hide unused, and it'll remove all the filters and that you're not using, or the columns. It will include the columns that you're using in there. So in this right here, I'm looking for stocks between $3 and $50. You could take this up. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and take it up right now. Let's put this baby on 300. Let's put it on 500. Some of these stocks got really crazy. All right. So here's what I want to see. I want to see stocks in this price range change from the close. I do not want it up on the day. Okay. So it has to be, I put a max of 0. Okay. So that tells me the stock has to be down on the day compared to yesterday's close. Average daily volume, pretty simple one there. Change from the open. Okay. I also want it down from where it opened. Okay. Position in previous day's range. Now, you could mess around with this if you like to. If you're one that kind of likes to anticipate a potential move, maybe you can put this at 15 or 20 or something like that. That's going to be up to you. I like to catch them, maybe right before they go through yesterday's low. Okay. Change in 20 days. Okay. I have a minimum of 20%. So these stocks have to be up at least 20% over the last 20 days. Now, once again, this is subjective. You could take this up to 100 if you wanted to. This is where you take these things. I'm going to share this with you, and this is where you can take it and make it your own. You can fine tune it. But for right now, we're just going to leave it at 20 because in most cases, you're not going to see days like we've seen the last couple with the GME and all those moves that we've seen. And change in 5 days, I put a minimum of 0, so I just don't want to catch it too late. In other words, I don't want to be chasing these things well after they've crumbled. All right, so let's take a look. That's our filters, and now let's go and take a look to see what started coming through here. And there were a ton of them, guys. I already did this once. It took me, I had to go through the loading. And once the server kind of fills your window up, you get this more available. So if you want to see older times or earlier times in the day, you have to come in here and do history and click on more. It'll start where it left off. But I want to go back to at least about 30 minutes after the market opens. So I'm going to keep hitting more here. And just all it's doing is showing you how crazy things have gotten to have all these stocks coming through like they have. Still more available. This is my 4th run. Also maybe telling you, be careful. This could be another sign for a top to see. Actually, you see GME coming through here all day, but I'll just go back. Still more available. And I'm on Central Time, so this is like my 6th or 7th time. So this was, definitely selling those crazy stocks that had big moves late today. All right, we should be getting close to that 9 o'clock area. Nope. Gosh, Jamie, that's a lot. I don't know if I've ever had to do this that many times.
Yeah, they get pretty crowded. You could always go in there and just, type in a 9 a.m. start time.
Duh. I didn't think about that. Anyway, we're gonna start right here because you can see the ones we're talking about. There's AMC.
Yeah,
I can kind of tell you. Yeah, so I can show you where you would get, you would get notified on this one, right here. So basically at 11 o'clock, and the thing did crater all the way down from basically 10 to, $6. See if I can find some more. There was a nice one right there. No, not really. No, that's been selling off for a while. Take that back. Did I look at BB yet? Beautiful one right there. You'd have been notified right there, pretty much right at 20. So this is where you don't have to be, thumbing through, looking, what were the stocks that were up big on the day? I got to start finding them. This right here will just kind of tell you. Here's Kodak notified right there. And like I said, you could put this, change or position in previous day. You could put it around 15 or 20 and get notified earlier. That's up to you. Some people don't want to see it until it gets close to yesterday's low. But boy, was there some opportunity if you could have got shares. And I know GME was in here too, but let me just do it one more time. You may just have to take my word. There was so much stuff coming through here. But anyway, this is one of those alerts you put aside and you remember and you pull it up. You say, you know what? I'm going to pull this baby up because I know these stocks have been getting crazy. There's a lot of people that could get stuck on the wrong side of this, holding positions, and then they panic out. And this is where you get those crazy, euphoric moves to the downside, just like you get them to the upside or capitulation, whatever you want to call it. But here's VIR. Well, there's a lot of good ones. And trust me, GME was coming through here. It just so much was coming through. I can't see it at this time. But I'm going to move on, guys. I'm going to share this with you because I'm sure a lot of you guys don't have it. I did this like probably a year ago, and it can be a very effective alert to put into play. I'm going to put it back on real time. Let me just save it from over here or share it. Getting tired. But you can see how creative you can get with our software, guys, if you just kind of, put your mind to it, but using those change and, over the last 20 days, and you can really pretty much create anything you want. Okay, I'm going to drop this in the chat window. Getting tired. And there you go. And who knows, maybe over the next few days, these things get active again and they set back up for another move to the downside. Typically they don't, but who knows? By the way, I was talking to the guys the other day, and a lot of times these stocks, once they have the move, a lot of people will start trying to play bounces. It's only human nature, like to say to yourself, wow, this is almost at $500. Now I can get it down here at 200, Don't think like that. Still let this thing maybe set up for a pattern. Don't just play a stock because it's sold way off and you're going to jump in, because you can really get crushed and run over. More people, I think, lose money not catching the up move, and they're saying, well, I'm going to wait for a pullback. The problem is when they have these, 1,700% moves, guys, the pullbacks can be all the way back down to, basically where it started. So be careful anytime you're trying to play, bounces. Maybe for a scalp or something like GameStop right here, may have been nice, but just be careful, because you can get run over doing that. All right, let's see here. I had one other window, but I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to save that for next week to go over. It wasn't all that grand of a
Andy,
segment.
We're getting a request from Vincent if you could share your pullback above the 50.
This pullback above the 50 SMA Pro?
I believe so.
Yes, Vincent, let me tell you a little shortcut here, and you're going to find a lot of other beautiful windows in there. Okay, that is available in Traderz Vault. You just go to Traderz Vault. I believe this will be on the bottom row, just above the compare count windows, and you'll find it. Okay, along with revenue, all these will be in there. So go to the Traderz Vault, just look for the key and click on it, and it'll be there, Vincent. Oh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you don't find it, let me know and I'll be happy to share it. But yeah, I'm certain that's in there. All right. I don't know if Ime is in here, but let me show you what he did on our price alerts. And this is why I share them with everybody. So, Ime, price alert at $45 on GameStop right here on this day, Jamie. Look at that.
Boom. Why didn't I take that trade, Andy?
I don't know. I was probably working, but oh man, yeah. And even after the sell off today, it's up 486%. Imagine what you could have made out of that one. Yeah, good. He's there. Congratulations, Ime. Beautiful call. I hope you made money on that. But other than that, let me see here. Man, you were the big winner. Not everybody fared so. I take that back. Candy on UVXY. Look at there, a 33% winner. Great job, Candy, if you're in here. Jamie, I remember her calling that out, and we both like, you're expecting a little volatility to come in the market, and sure enough, it did.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, good call, both of you. So let's see. Other than that, it looks like everybody else pretty much around the flat area. Nothing jumped out at me. But Ime, that was a great call. Man, if you're telling me the truth, that it is very. I was gonna say, man, darn.
I'm like, okay.
You never know, man. Money is relative. So if you did, I was going to hit you up for dinner. That's for sure. All right, let's do this again. Let's got plenty of time here. So what I'm going to do is let me just go ahead. I'm going to clear this off. You know what? When market gets to where it's like, I don't mind letting all my alerts go. I like to reset this thing every now and then. Get too many in here. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do here, is you guys give me a stock, okay? And he might, hey, shorts work. Just let me know if it's a short, okay? So we can set it up that way. But give me a price target, not a price target, but a price alert. So you got to give me the price and the symbol, and we'll set alert in here, and we'll play this again. And Dave is liking Spice at 2170 long. Oh, he's looking for a pullback. I like that. Whoa, 2170.
Actually,
oh, wait, no, 4320.
4320. Yeah.
Right. Okay, we'll stick it in there, and let's. Almost traded it. What am I looking for? Create. Oh, there we go. All right. 4820, and that is Dave F. Okay, and then we have Randy with Mara at 2170 long. Okay, I see what you're looking at here. You guys are getting pretty good at this. All right, we need some more, guys. Oh, did he say space? Oh, space, not spice. I got you. Okay, I got you, Dave. All right, we need some more, guys. I know Ime has to have one. All right, we got two in there working. All right, Bongo at 13 from Martin. 13, let me just go ahead and put it right there. From Martin K. And BB from Fabian at I need a price on that, Fabian. You're looking like maybe today's high. No, that's not, it wouldn't be today's high. 24. All right. Oh, you're going way up here. That's all right. You're making sure it's going to go. I don't think I need a initial on his. Not too many Fabians in here.
And Andy, I think we had a little correction on SPCE. 4320 is what Dave is saying instead of 4220.
Okay, let's see. Edit price alert. 4320. All right, and we got play from Ime at 3750. Oh, he's going okay. Yep. He's going for a breakout there after the two big volume bars. All right. NMTR. Oh, did I miss one? Let me go.
Nancy Mom, Tom Robert.
Okay.
$1.60.
Ooh, got one of these.
Ooh, that's way up there. Yeah.
Yep.
But hey, anything's possible in this market.
Yeah, you bet. Who's that from?
That.
Renata?
Yeah, I have to scroll back up a little bit.
I got
Renata. Yeah.
Angie. From, if you don't mind me saying, Abdu. Angie at 59.91. No, wait a minute.
Yeah, we can just say 92, 91, 92.
Do I have the, no, is he got the, no.
Yeah, that's got to be
1445. He put it down there below. I got it.
Gotcha. Okay.
Uh-oh, somebody's going off.
Looks like the
Space.
SPCE did.
Yeah. Let's see. 43.20. Let's go with 43.10. All right, we got MEOH. And that's Bernard at 35.24. Oh, I like that. Looking for a little reversal there. And AG from Waleed at 1933.
Yep. When you get down there, Andy, on Dave's SPCE, it's a long, and it's marked as a short.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Let me just do this. Let me edit price alert. See if I can do it. Okay, there we go. There we go.
But I think it needs to rise to
From above.
Is it going up to the spot?
No, it's coming back. It's a pullback.
Oh, it's a pullback alert. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Atos 370 from Martin. We got two Martins. We got a Martin K. Oh wait, just one. You only get one, Martin. You're already in for unless you want to replace it. Right now you're in for Bongo.
Okay, and Dave is saying no on the pullback.
No on the pullback. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, well currently it's at 43.50, so we can't put, we can't put 43. We got to go up here maybe 45 or higher.
If you want it at 43.10, it's got to be a pullback.
It's got to be a pullback at 43.10. Dave. Martin's throwing more out there. He's no, you never said 43.10. Okay, my bad. Where do you want it? 43.75. Okay, my bad. I maybe just misread that. 43.75. And we'll remove this one. All right. I think I got them all, Jamie. Let's see. No, one more. Stan got CGC. And that is a 40.50. Oh, look at that movement things had. 40.50. Stan G. All right. They're all locked in, guys. Let me share them. And I believe that's all. I'm going to share these with everybody. So, hey, who knows? You guys may get another, email type move, and you'll if you're copying these and putting them in your price alerts, you will get alerted. Let's see, share, copy all, and I'll drop them into the chat window. One trigger, but that's okay. I'm not gonna. Not going to fix it. Somebody just got a head start. But yeah, great job, guys. Appreciate it. I'm going to bring Scott in here, and he'll walk us out. You guys hang on. He will share a discount code with you, so you can get a nice little discount on our software.
Yeah, thanks, Andy. So everyone, make sure you grab that earnings ebook. Super helpful. Got some strategies in there that'll help you learn how to conquer earnings season. It's also got some cloud links that you can import into your layout. TradeIdeas.com/earnings. We're going to be putting up a new ebook to promote for the next quarter pretty soon. We've also What's the next slide? Is that podcast?
Yeah, podcast. Sorry. Wouldn't.
We've also got a podcast. We just released a new one like a week and a half ago. It's really good. Talks all about the new goings on in trade ideas and what's coming up. Also got some great interviews from before the new year. So go ahead and check that out. Just search for Trade Ideas Podcast, add us as a subscription, and you will get the newest episode, and you can scroll through and download the old ups. Don't forget, we also have a discount code for you that'll save you some cash if you decide to open an account today. It's Holly New Year. And use that if you want to start a new account or upgrade from standard to premium and get all those premium goodies. You can find us on Twitter. There's @QuantBot, @TodayTrader, @TradeIdeas. Also, Trade Ideas Pro is the Facebook handle. And send all your questions to info@trade-ideas.com. It goes into our help desk software so it doesn't get lost. We're going to place the recording of this up later on tonight or tomorrow on our YouTube channel and send you an email tomorrow with a link to the playlist where you can find it. Thank you, Andy and Jamie. Catch you guys later. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everybody. I'll see some of you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.